welcome to Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast.
Hey, it's JD here, back for another week of sipping from the bottle that contains the discography of seminal indie rock band Pavement. Hoping to get drunk, quite frankly. I want to get drunk on this music. I want to listen to it and then be wobbly when I walk. That's right. I am uncool and underqualified to be exercising this authority, but here I am doing so. And grab a seat, pull up a chair, and get comfortable. You probably have never watched The Friendly Giant, but it was a show that was on Canadian television when I was growing up. Give it a YouTube. Check it out. The giant would always arrange his furniture for his guests at the beginning of every episode, and my God, I would do the same for you if I could. So there's that. I will tell you that in terms of news this week, the biggest item of news is there is a Steve Keen Kickstarter. Well, a book. Let me rephrase here. There's a Kickstarter for a Steve Keen book that is out there. It's floating out and about. You may have seen it on my Twitter feed or in the Facebook group. I believe the person responsible for it has also posted it on Reddit. So if this is news to you, then that's a shame. But if it's not news to you, then well, if it's news to you, it's not a shame because I just broke news. But if it is not news to you, then have you already got your book? It looks as though right now they are at 42,570 Canadian dollars, pledged on a $73,000 goal. So I'm going to guess it's a $60,000 goal in US dollars. 300 backers, 13 days to go. If you just do a search for Steve Keen book Kickstarter, you will find it. It sounds like it's going to be a fantastic thing, and I will be buying one for sure. So get cracking on that. That sounds like a real cool thing. I did my episode on the Malcolmus Conundrum. It was a great deal of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was an interesting thing because they are recording from Glasgow and Sydney, Australia. I believe it's Sydney. I'm terrible that I don't know that for sure. But this is not a geography podcast, so there's that. Anyway, that was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I basically gave them a list of 10 SM Jix songs and solo songs that I was keen on, and they randomly picked 2 each, and we just jammed on them. We just talked and really sort of, got at what makes this band so goddamn good. The Jix in this case, and SM. So there's that. My arm is a little sore. I just got back from Costco, and I got the vaccine. The unfortunate thing about getting the vaccine from Costco is you have to get 6. So that's a real drag, but nevertheless, I got it, and I get the next one in September, apparently. So Canada still well behind the rest of the world, I feel, but maybe not. Have you got your vaccine? I hope so. Hope you're feeling all right. Hope you're feeling A-O-fucking-K. Right? Yeah. Okay. So today we are listening to another Spiral Jam. Now, I'm not sure where I left it with the last Spiral Jam, which was Your Time to Change. When I was talking about that song, I had reached out to Spiral and asked him, what's the deal? Because it's at Louder Than You Think Studios, and Gary's involved, and I didn't know whether or not these 2 tracks, Stub Your Toe and Your Time to Change, were new or old songs. And the message that I got from Spiral on Twitter was, I'll read it to you. I'm just opening it right now. because I was interested in understanding, when it was recorded, and the time, sort of the time frame. And what Spiral told me was, I made the demos after the Terror Twilight sessions, and then when we needed some B-sides, I recorded it with Gary at his place. So there you go. So he did record it with Gary after the fact. So that's a cool little piece of Pavement trivia, is that even though Gary had been out of the band since 1994, Gary recorded new material with the In Quotes band in 99. So there's that. Today we're going to listen to a song called Stub Your Toe, and this is much more straightforward. It's far less confusing to me than Your Time to Change was, because honestly, I did not know who was singing that song. I did not know. If you had told me it was Mark Ibold, I would have believed you. Now that I hear the song, I know, you know what I mean? Like, now that I know about the song, I hear Spiral. I get it. It still feels like a very different song, though. Stub Your Toe feels like a Pavement song. There is the guitar tone that feels very slanted and enchanted to me. Almost like a Traeger cut a little bit. It's got a similar guitar tone to me. And, it falls in line with Pavement's, with Spiral's offerings to Pavement, circa Wowie Zowie, Brighten the Corners, I guess. It's very poppy. It's very friendly. It's a very fun listen, and it's very Pavement-y to me. This is Spiral Stairs and Pavement. This is Stub Your Toe on Meeting Alchemists, a Pavement podcast. Fun little piano outro there. Didn't need it, but it's a nice little flourish to the song. What do you think? Send me your thoughts on this song, JD@meetingalchemist.com. Have you ever heard it before? I was rummaging through Reddit, and it looks as though, this is a song that people were really excited about when they heard the EP, calling it among Spiral's best pavement work. I can't disagree with that. It's a lot of fun. That's a real great track. And, I'm guessing it was a snippet of an idea based on what he told me. And I'm wondering if the lyrics were written post, like he says in the letter that he wrote me, that, they didn't realize the band was breaking up. So he was just, still putting ideas together. He was thinking of a solo record, but he didn't know that there would be no more Pavement. So, maybe that's how this song ended up getting used. But the lyrics are, if you want to go in that direction, you can, because the lyrics are, now that it's over, what will you do after all the fun times are all over you? Generate a life, generate a life. It don't take a nation to generate a life. Now that it's over, what will they say? Will they pass the mustard, or will you stub your toe? Generate a life, generate a life. You don't know. It don't take a nation to generate a life. So what, generating a life is that, God, I don't know. To me, this is about the end of Pavement. To me, this is about Spiral being, I'm going to say blindsided. I don't know whether he was, but the fact that, he was a founding member of the band and didn't know that they were going to break up, that feels like a bit of a blindside. We know that, it's SM's folly. Really, we've heard Bob say that. We've heard Steve say that. We've heard Spiral say that, that the time between phone calls to record a record just kept getting longer. And this was the end. So I don't know if the stub your toe thing is, a reference to that. Steve going on his own, and, will what he does afterwards pass the mustard, or will he just stub his toe and, fade out into obscurity? I don't know. That's what I have. What do you have? Again, JD@meetingmalcolmist.com. Would love to hear from you. Next week, we have a special 100th episode. We won't be covering the next song on the EP on this episode. We will be just talking Pavement and talking their legacy. So I hope you join me for that. And sorry about getting this one to you much later than I would have liked. But sometimes shit happens and you just got to go with it. Talk to you next week. Be well, stay cool, and wash your goddamn hands.
Meeting Malcolmus, a Pavement podcast, is a weekly affair. Connect with JD at jd@meetingmalcolmus.com. Please support the pod by rating, reviewing, or sponsoring us at meetingmalcolmus.com. And hey, I'm social. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Meeting Malcolmus.